Oh, it's Top 7 Saturdays. It's been a while. Let's get back to it, yeah. This week, we're going to look at top 7 movie things to do on YouTube that aren't reviews. It's just top 7 YouTube things. How about that? Top 7 best movie YouTube things. Yeah, that's what how it won't be. Let's see what he says. Brought to you by the Movie Guy. Hi, the Movie Guy, and welcome to Top 7 Saturdays. I haven't done one of these in a while, and that's lots of reasons. We'll just say lots of reasons. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about YouTube. Now, I'm on YouTube. You're probably watching me on YouTube or Facebook, which is the same thing. I know it's not the same thing, but it is anyways. All right, so I love YouTube. I go on YouTube all the time. I have a lot of friends through YouTube. I'm part of a community of people. There's a bunch of us. But besides those people, those awesome people, and the other straight up movie reviewers on YouTube, there's a lot of great content on YouTube. And I want to talk about 7 channels or 7 programs on channels, because one channel gets mentioned a couple of times, but I'll get back to that. I wanted to talk about these channels. These are my top 7 things that I love about YouTube to do with movies. Now, they're not all straight up reviews, and that's the thing. They're just channels that deal with movie content that are just awesome. And I wanted to let you know about them, in case you don't know about them. So without further ado, let's get going. Number 7, CinemaSins, Jeremy. Alright, now the guy from CinemaSins is good. I like CinemaSins, but but this guy, Jeremy, who runs CinemaSins, has a separate channel just for his own kind of musings. And I gotta be honest, he comes up with some incredibly smart ideas to fix movies. And like, by movies, I mean movies in general. Like, the whole movie-going experience, the rating system, everything. He writes letters, Dear Hollywood. Now, I will warn you, there are some language in these letters. But he writes letters about how to fix the rating system. He wrote a letter to Marvel, which of course, these are video letters, so it's like, they probably won't get them, but they probably do get them, because I'm sure someone at Marvel checks YouTube. He just brings up a lot of good points, and he's really funny, and yeah, you should definitely check him out if you want a bit of a lighter, funner side of YouTube to do with movies. Then you don't mind swearing. Yeah, that's what I got. Number 6. Film School and Art of the Scene by Cinefix. Alright, Cinefix is a channel, and I gotta be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the channel overall. It has a bunch of very smart hipster people, yeah, that talk about film. And sometimes they say great things, and sometimes they just come off as hipsters. And I've stopped watching most of their content because of it. But there's a few things they do, which is really great. One of which is higher up on the list, but there's 2 things they do which are tied. One thing is called Film Schooled, and it looks at different aspects of how film was made, and so it looks at how film actually started. Film started by a bet about a horse. I'm not kidding. 2 guys were betting about a horse. One guy said that when a horse gallops, all his hooves are off the ground at one point, and the other one said no. And so he figured out how to take enough pictures and then rotate it. And you've probably seen that thing where you go to where you spin it and you look through the thing and you see a horse galloping. That was the very first film, and it was basically just to prove a bet. That's what started the whole medium off. Film School looks at stuff like that. It looks how Star Wars is basically samurai films. If you love Star Wars, you should be appreciative of samurai films from Akira Kurosawa. It's really smart, really well put together. Now, the other thing they do is called Art of a Scene, and it just looks and breaks down scenes from movies, in particular scenes, from beginning to end in that one little scene. And just looks at why it's smart and how it's filmed and why it's so impactful and blah, 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 blah. It's just really a 5 to 10 minute condensed look at one scene, and it looks at all the aspects of why that scene works and how it works and why it doesn't do certain things and why it does do certain things. It's just really interesting. Number 5, Mr. Sunday Movies. This is one of the funniest guys on YouTube. He does do movie reviews, but they're very fast, funny movie reviews, and he has 2 ratings: best movie ever, worst movie ever. That's it. But it's not his reviews that so much are important. He breaks down trailers, so he does 6 things you've missed in this trailer, 6 things you missed in that trailer, 5 things you missed. But he also does just things about comics, and so he's looking at Aquaman and why Aquaman is awesome. People are like, Aquaman sucks, all he does is talk to fish. And then he says no, and take 5 minutes and watch the video. Trust me, you'll be like, Aquaman is badass. And there's a time where he threw a polar bear at poachers. It's just... Mr. Sunday Movies has one of the funniest things on YouTube about movies. He does a podcast and with another guy, and it's just, they sometimes turn that into little shorts and stuff. Incredibly funny, incredibly informative, and just incredibly funny. Number 4, Good Bad Flicks. Okay, now let me just say, This guy does do movie reviews, but not in the way that you would think. He actually like goes through an entire movie and points out things that are terrible about it. And he looks at a lot of bad movies a lot of the time. He breaks them down and looks at the whole plot and makes fun of it, but then he says, yeah, at the end, after he's made fun of this movie mercilessly, he's like, yeah, I love this movie, it's great. He also tells you things about the budget and where it was filmed and the scripting and all this extra information. Now that's awesome in itself, but the other thing this guy does, he's done several videos about why PG-13 started and why it doesn't work. Why film trailers suck now. Why film posters suck now. He's done several of these, and they're just really, really smart and really, really thoroughly researched. I mean, like, must have took him forever to put some of these things together. Uses a lot of video clips, and he's really smart, really well educated, and really, really well put together videos. I watch his regular stuff, but his specials are just insanely educating and really entertaining. Number 3, every frame a painting. Holy crap, I came across this guy like 6 months ago, and he made me look at film differently. I just watched the movie Drive the other day, and I was like, no, I've watched Drive like 10 times, because I love Drive, but I watched it differently for the first time in my life, because he did a video about Drive, and how it's framed, and I was like, okay, and how it's quadrant. Now quadrants, of course, like that. So there's 4 quadrants. There's this one, this one, this one, this one. And he talks about the fact that how people stand in different quadrants and how it was set up this way and how it draws your eye line in certain directions in Drive. And I was just like, I never knew that before. And I was like, nah, watch it. And he uses lots of video clips. Watch it. He totally is on the ball. He shows why certain people are edited brilliant, and he shows why certain people use sound, and how a scene can break down and who's in control. He does a whole thing with the Hannibal Lecter, Clarice Starling thing. Well, who's really in control of that scene, and who has the upper hand at any given moment, and he explains why. And it's just, you look at it and you're like, holy crap! Film is a completely different place once you've watched some of his videos and then watched some movies again. You're like, it's a whole new world. Yeah, I went there. It's amazing. Plus, he's really smart. Number 2, 8-bit cinema on Cinefix. I love 8-bit video games and 16-bit video games, old school video games, okay? And there's this thing on Cinefix, again, Cinefix. It's that other channel that I talked about earlier. And the channel itself, I don't really care about, but they do certain programming, and this is their best one. They make video game little movies about, they make little video game movies about movies. If that makes any sense. They make it look like a video game and what you would do. So they have side-scrolling ones like Contra, where they're doing Mega Man, with they turn the Avengers into Mega Man. Or Mega Man into Adventure. One of the two. I don't know which. They did The Big Lebowski as an adventure where you walk around and stuff. They did The Shawshank Redemption. Their stuff looks amazing. It's really cool. They do 8-bit audio too, and like to match the score. And they do behind the scenes stuff to show how they do all this stuff. It's incredible. It's so much fun. It's so entertaining. But there's one thing on YouTube that I just look forward to more than any other thing to do with movies. And that is number 1, How It Should Have Ended. Holy crap, if you haven't seen How It Should Have Ended. How It Should Have Ended is a cartoon type thing. I don't know how they, it's computerized, but I don't know how exactly, because I'm not that smart. But it basically takes movies and shows you comical ways of how they actually should have gone down, how it should have ended. That's the title, How It Should Have Ended. This is the funniest thing to do with movies on YouTube. Hands down. It's smart, funny, brilliant. What other things could I say? Looks great, the voice work is fantastic, and it quite often goes, yeah, why didn't they do that? And it does the famous thing with Lord of the Rings where they just use the eagles. Because everyone says, why didn't they just use the eagles? And there's a whole theory about that, but they actually use the eagles, and it's funny. It is the best thing on YouTube to do with movies that is not a straight up review. And I can't tell you enough to go watch it. They cover so many different types of movies. They're so well done. They're so funny and just creative and just... I love it. So, there's my top 7 things on YouTube that I watch that are not related to reviews as much as they are about just movies in general and our awesomeness. Let me know what you watch YouTube for movies, or just what you watch YouTube for in general. I do watch other things on YouTube. There's a few things, but I'm a movie guy, so of course I'm going to look at movie stuff. That's just the way it works. So hopefully I'm going to be doing more top 7s. It's been a while, but yeah. If you know me, you know why. If you don't, well then don't worry about it. It's not your problem. It's my problem. Let me know if there's any top 7s you want. I got a bunch lined up. If I can do them, I'll do them. I am willing to take suggestions. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay bearded. You're watching the Bearded Movie Guy. Oh yeah. This is a long video, but tough luck, you're getting it. Or you already know that if you're still here, you know it's a long video because you're still here. Yeah. If you're not, who cares? You're not listening to me anyways. Subscribe and tell your friends. And as always, you'll top safely.